Hi there, it's Colleen Adrian, and I want to talk today about some of the habits of our kids that can be, irritating or even overwhelming for us as sensitive parents, and some of the possibilities for what you might be able to do about that. So I tend to be really super sensitive. And when my son was young, he often used to swing his foot and kind of kick my leg under the table when we were sitting next to each other at the dinner table. And um, I could tell he was doing it like it wasn't a violent or an aggressive type thing. It was just kind of one of those la-di-da-di-da, things that kids do to pass the time almost, right? His leg would be swinging and hitting my leg, but it was startling and it felt really overstimulating for me as a sensitive person. Um, Another thing that he used to do actually was he used to come running through the kitchen because there was kind of a loop that the kids could run around in our house, and as he ran through the kitchen, he'd whack me on the bottom and like kind of on my lower back, and um it wasn't really that it was that hard, but I often wasn't expecting it. And it was startling for me, and it was quite dysregulating. I definitely remember feeling, sometimes annoyed and sometimes quite overwhelmed by it. And it didn't seem to matter how often I asked him to stop. He'd do it again. He'd start again. So this one day, I had an aha moment, and I thought, I wonder if he's just if what he's doing is really just needing more connection with me and needing a physical connection. So I changed my approach. And this is in particular with the situation at the dinner table. And so instead of just telling him to stop, I asked him if what he wanted was a little bit more contact with me or to be a little bit closer. So I'd invite him to put his foot up on my knee or to sit a little bit closer so that our legs were touching. And as soon as I did that, he stopped kicking me. And I was like, yay. First of all, I sort of solved that for myself, but also it gave me an opportunity to meet his need. And what I've really realized since then is that our kids, especially when they're younger, they really ground through us, like physically. They need that physical connection with us, and to really be able to feel our physical presence. And that's calming for them, and it's regulating for them. It's reassuring for them. And I've also discovered just in my own personal journey that the more healing work that I've done and that's helped me to become more present in my body, the more capacity I have to tolerate his behavior, but also at the same time, the more he's able to feel my presence, which is reassuring for him, right? It kind of calms everybody down. So that's my experience with that. I'm curious about what your experience has been with that, if anything. So I'd love to hear any comments or questions below. Thanks for listening.